When unexpected beeping noises and phrases flash across the top of the screen interrupt your TV program in Japan, that is a public statement of the incidence and magnitude of a recent earthquake or natural disaster in Japan. At the same time, an alarm, warning, or evacuation directive will be declared if there is a tsunami risk. Particularly for the earthquake alert to be beneficial to you, it may be helpful to learn some primary earthquake indications. However, before going into terminology like magnitude and seismic scale, let's study the relationship between Japan and earthquakes so that you can at least grasp a bit about what's occurring under your feet first. Why does Japan have so many earthquakes? Japan's predisposition to earthquakes is due to several well-documented geological factors. An earthquake is a natural occurrence that occurs due to the tensions created by the shifting tectonic plates that make up our planet. Japan and earthquakes go hand in hand due to their position along the Pacific Ring of Fire, which lies across three tectonic plates, including the Pacific Plate under the Pacific Ocean and the Philippine Sea Plate. As earthquakes can occur within a tectonic plate, thus occurring on land rather than in the sea and radiating outwards, it is conceivable that a significant quake may hit directly under Tokyo or another huge urban city that is not used to earthquakes or seismically retrofitted. The good news is that earthquake-resistant construction can be found in many structures. Some are created with the top part able to move with a given earthquake as it strikes, while others are meant to absorb and remain firmly grounded. Such creative technology indicates that the link between Japan and earthquakes, although frightening at times, has spawned some valuable technology that can help save lives. Seismic activity in Japan. Seismic intensity scales are used to gauge earthquake impact, while magnitude scales are used to determine the magnitude of an earthquake. Japan earthquake information differs from other nations in that tremors are normally recorded on a 10-step seismic intensity scale of 0 to 7, with lower and upper levels in between. As you'll see in the video below, seismic activity in Japan has been known to reach extremes. The extent of the damage depends on several variables, including the distance to the epicenter and the local geology. With a magnitude of 9, the 2011 Great Tohoku Earthquake that originated off the coast of Japan was the most powerful earthquake ever to have struck the country and the fourth strongest earthquake in the globe since record-keeping began in 1900. Many far more minor earthquakes and quakes occur daily or even hourly without causing any damage, as you can see from the earthquake information available through smartphone apps, the internet, and other media. Regular seismic activity in Japan is simply part of life for many natives and expatriates alike. The most significant earthquakes of Japanese history. In Japan's history, multiple earthquakes with a 7.0 and larger magnitude have resulted in countless victims and destruction in their aftermath. Some of the most damaging earthquakes occurred roughly a century ago, while others happened in the recent past. The Great Kanto Earthquake in 1923. A 7.9 magnitude earthquake struck the Kanto region on September 1, 1923, leveling most of Tokyo and Yokohama. With more than 100,000 deaths, the Great Kanto Earthquake was one of the most damaging earthquakes in Japan's history. The aftermath also ignited a large city fire, and casualties increased to almost 140,000. Not only did the earthquake cause severe fires in the urban area, but it also generated a tsunami wave that reached a height of 12 meters and struck Sagami Bay. The bay, located in the south of Kanagawa Prefecture, was also the hypocenter of the earthquake, and the landmasses of the bay shifted 2 meters upwards during the quake. The Kobe Earthquake in 1995. On January 17, 1995, an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.3 rocked the city of Kobe. The Kobe earthquake, also known as the Hanshin Awaji earthquake disaster, claimed the lives of about 4,500 people. The earthquake's hypocenter occurred 20 kilometers southwest of Kobe city center, 16 kilometers below the Earth's surface. As with the Great Kanto earthquake, the Kobe earthquake's force was evident on a continental scale. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge, which presently connects the main island of Honshu with Awaji Island, was still under construction in 1995. The bridge's piers slid nearly a meter apart due to the Kobe earthquake's impact. The Tohoku Earthquake in 2011. The Tohoku Earthquake happened on March 11, 2011, with a magnitude of 9.1. The Tohoku Earthquake was the strongest ever recorded in Japan. About 130 kilometers east of Sendai and 370 kilometers northeast of Tokyo, a massive ocean megathrust earthquake struck off the coast of Miyagi Prefecture's Sanriku Peninsula. The 23-meter-high tsunami wave caused by the earthquake swamped over 500 square kilometers of the Japanese Pacific coastline. The nuclear disaster at the Fukushima nuclear power plant gave the Tohoku earthquake the term triple catastrophe. As of June 2020, 15,899 individuals have been killed, and 2,529 were still unaccounted for due to the triple disaster. The devastation and nuclear disaster compelled more than 500,000 people to flee their homes and apartments. The Tohoku earthquake impacted plate tectonics the same way as the Kanto and Kobe quakes had previously done. The main island of Honshu shifted 2.4 meters to the east, and the Oshika Peninsula in Miyagi Prefecture sank by 120 centimeters. Around 500 earthquakes of magnitude 5 to 7 were recorded in the days and weeks following the disaster. Earthquakes are something to expect at any moment of the day in Japan, so don't fear. The earthquake-resistant foundations of most new Japanese structures are cushioned pillars anchored in large concrete slabs. It will assure that you will go through unscathed during such an event in Japan. How Japanese society has adapted to earthquakes. The relationship between Japan and earthquakes is old, no more so to the people who live there. Having learned from its mistakes in the past, Japan is today one of the world's most earthquake-ready societies, and preparation begins at a young age with regular earthquake drills that have students running for cover under their desks. Children are also made familiar with the experience of an earthquake so that they would not be too scared when a genuine one strikes. Local fire departments accompany the children on earthquake expeditions to see simulations at disaster centers that include machines or facilities where individuals may experience quakes of varying magnitudes and learn about the necessary responses. Regular emergency drills are done in the workplace, which is especially important at department shops, where employees may have to deal with large groups of consumers in an emergency. Many homes are likewise disaster-ready, with huge furniture and shelves secured in the case of significant quakes. There is a particular day in Tokyo dedicated to earthquakes. On Disaster Prevention Day, which falls on November 19th, people are urged to take precautions against disasters and stock up on emergency supplies like canned food and first aid kits. Emergency food has even taken on a gourmet twist in Japan, going beyond the necessities to provide food as near to everyday living as possible, such as red bean sweets, fluffy canned bread and muffins, delectable biscuits and curries. I hope you enjoyed the video about country with most earthquakes in the world. Subscribe to our channel, leave your thoughts on this fantastic video in the comment section, and don't forget to press the bell icon for upcoming exciting videos. Thank you for watching.